Like playful pups, blissfully unaware that they are the only two of their kind, the Goodyear Blimps romp around their birthplace at Wingfoot Lake near Akron, Ohio. Here they are, the Columbia and the Mayflower, in a rare homecoming. Seldom are the sister ships reunited. Each has her own missions. 6 months of the year, they are nomads crisscrossing the country, distant relatives of the circus, the carnival, and the medicine showman. Closer kin to the barnstorming flyers of another era, yet a breed unto themselves. The rest of the time, these plump, silver envoys of goodwill are in winter quarters, the Columbia in Los Angeles, the Mayflower in Miami. Even there, they do not hibernate. There is always a job for the blimp. No mysterious invaders, these. There's never a doubt about their friendly intentions. And they are clearly identified flying objects. So begins a day in the life of an aerial ambassador, a minister of many portfolios. To the sports fan, the blimp may suggest the World Series, a bowl game, yacht races, golf tournaments, the Indianapolis 500, almost any major sports event. The blimps are familiar sights over the fields of athletic combat, conveying greetings to the crowds below, providing unusual views of the event to the stay-at-home fans. Because of their stability and the ability to hover, the airships are ideal platforms for airborne television cameras. All the networks have used the blimps in covering the big game, the big races, the big tournaments. Despite measurements of 160, 58, 51 feet, not inches, the blimps have been movie stars too, from the serials of the silent era to a recent role in a Beatles comedy. News photographers at stops on the blimps' itineraries are able to shoot new aerial views of their cities. Time is at a premium for the busy blimps, so is space. Whenever possible, though, passengers are accommodated. There's never any shortage of those willing to ride. Each ship carries approximately 8,000 passengers yearly. The ambassadors also pay respects at civic celebrations of all kinds. And the flying billboard devotes much space to worthy causes and seasonal greetings. Special assignments come up frequently. Trailing wildlife in the Everglades, covering a fire, and exploration. Earl Stanley Gardner, creator of Perry Mason, rode the blimp over Baja, California, gathering material for a travel book. Photo reconnaissance by the blimp helped historians pinpoint an early Arizona stagecoach route. Blimps have been flying laboratories for scientists investigating air pollution, sonic booms, radar. In these and other ways, the Columbia and the Mayflower carry on as the descendants of a proud race. Theirs is a history dating back to the very first days of manned flight, long before Kitty Hawk, as far back as the beginnings of this nation, in fact. Came Pearl Harbor, and the blimps were ready for their most distinguished service. During the war, the Navy airships compiled a remarkable record, particularly as convoy escorts. 89,000 ships sailed the coastal waters of the Western Hemisphere under blimp protection. Not one vessel was lost while under escort by these sentinels. Again, during the Korean conflict, the Navy stepped up its airship operations. But the era was nearing an end. The jet age was beginning to leave the blimps in its contrails. Still, one important defense job remained. The last airships built by Goodyear for the Navy were the huge, oddly shaped ZPG-3Ws, which contained within their envelopes equipment for the early warning defense network. These ships, 10 times the size of the Mayflower and the Columbia, were retired in 1962 when more sophisticated warning devices were developed. Anachronisms, romantic links to a receding time in the history of flight, that they may be. But the blimps are not a vanishing breed. Newer, bigger airships are in production. Larger, more elaborate night signs, programmed by computers, are being developed. Meanwhile, the business of today's blimps goes on.
WNK6, this is 2 Alpha, go ahead.
KW8, Tom, this is the field they'd like you to land in this afternoon. If you would please make a low pass and check it out, appreciate it.
KW8, 2 Alpha, will do, turning around now.
Another mission ends. But there's another to follow. If not here, then beyond the horizon at the next stop. This is a road show, and the show must move on.